Well, here I am. It's Thursday night, Nigel. I've decided to broadcast from the back deck. It was very warm today here, but now there's a breeze and it's mellow and mild. I hope your day went well. Today was the day of cousin Doherty's funeral. So um, that was, hello, Cherie. So it was nice. It was, Fender, listen, I knew exactly what you meant. Hello, Crystal. I knew exactly what you meant, but you got to see it from Schmack's standpoint. He didn't know the joke. So at first he thought, you know, what happened for those of you that used to watch. Um, you saw me laughing, Fender. The problem is because I was driving, I couldn't look at the comments until I stopped at a light, and that's when I saw it. And I think I explained it quite in depth. Those of you that have watched Cousin Doherty runs, the live videos Holly and I used to do when I would ride up there with her groceries, I would then come out and tell you all the things she had to complain about what I got for her. And I made a comment on several occasions how the water tower, I think I even showed pictures before, but the water tower directly across from our house, if you looked up on the railing all around, were buzzards. And I used to, my sense of humor. I would poke fun at, do they know something I don't? And like they're hanging out ready to scoop in case I find her dead in there. And it was my warped sense of humor. Well, today I said where I was just leaving the cemetery and I did a live broadcast and I made mention that I just left cousin Doherty's funeral. Well, Schmack Dynamite, who you guys have seen in here quite often, was in the room, and so was Fender. And Fender made a comment, something like, "Did the buzzards find their way there, or show up there, or something?" Well, Schmack, not knowing the joke behind it, came to my defense and attacked Fender and said, "Fender, what the fuck?" He put WTF. And then she explained that, oh, it's a reference from before. And he goes, oh. But when I saw the message, I went more into detail. It was funny. Excuse me. It was funny. So I cleared that up before I had a Benite riot on my hands. It was warm out, but when you're going to a funeral, when you go to a funeral, they're like, they're not happy, cheery times and stuff like that. But this was so convenient to the visitors and the guests. She the funeral was walking distance to her house. Now, that doesn't really make much difference because there was nobody at her house walking there. And then the graveyard is just a couple miles down a non-busy road and one left and you're there at the cemetery. So we're at the funeral and it was uh, you know, when you are talking an 88.5-year old, she doesn't exactly have many living friends. She's attended many more funerals, uh, but you get to a point where there aren't that many people left. Mrs. Biggins is out here, by the way, now, folks. Here she comes. Thank you for my lovely refreshment, Mrs. Biggins. And so anyway, there was. We then went to. So it's the second time I was a pallbearer this week, And I will say I look good. Okay, Fender says hello, Holly.
Hello.
And what is going on over there?
My pants.
Oh my God, her pants were almost down, folks. And so there was that. And then I did a broadcast live on the ride home. And I was telling people about what I was saying. And I could tell they were immensely thrilled. So there's Fender felt the need again to explain that my buzzard's joke was just to make you smile on a sad day. Look, I'd be lying to you if I told you it was a sad day. What? What?
Something just ran across back there, but I don't know what it was. It was big.
A deer, probably.
It didn't look like a fucking deer. It was too low to the ground.
And it ran
It
across?
ran.
What?
It was in like the sunlight, a little bit of sunlight between the trees. And by the time I was like focusing on it, it ran into the trees.
Little T says hi to Holly and
Hello,
to
Little
you and
T.
Holly. I was looking at Little T yesterday because I'm making his T-shirt. Little T's T.
That's one of the bunnies, but that's not what I saw.
Well, what do you think? We have something tracking the bunny, you
Bigger
think?
than that, no. The bunny.
A fox?
The bunny was behind
Could
it.
it have been a fox?
I hope not. It was bigger than a fox.
Bigger than a
It
fox?
was bigger than a fox. The bunnies came after
Like
it,
sable size?
and they were going in the other direction.
Was it sable size or bigger? Hang on, folks. I gotta look out the back to see if we got a creature.
It was close to the ground, so it wasn't a deer unless it was a very short deer.
Could it have been the sun and a tree blowing in the shadow cast?
No,
Well, what do you think it was?
it went from that little patch of sunlight,
I'm looking at 20 patches of
the
sunlight.
one closest to this end,
Okay.
and it went very quickly into the trees.
What do you think it was?
I don't know, maybe a coyote,
Could it have been?
a big raccoon. They said there was sick-looking raccoons.
Oh, we got
On that
healthy
ring.
raccoons over here.
That ring camera thing came up yesterday.
We got healthy raccoons out
It's
here.
fine. The kids are in here, so it doesn't matter. And the bunnies were going in the opposite direction. So
Cherie, do you have belt loops? Because I'm not going to suggest a belt. But let me tell you what's great for pants that are falling down. If you need belt loops though.
or was she trying to telling me about my pants falling
No,
down?
she said she's lost 40 pounds.
Oh, good.
But a bungee cord. When I'm like in between, if I'm getting low and my pants are starting to slide down, I will put a bungee cord on the. I've done that with shorts too. I put a bungee cord between, like you can get those short ones, and I'll put it between two, or the those hair fucking things you chicks have with the little balls on them.
Yes.
You put them through the belt loops, and boom.
Here, you can show them what I'm reading now. I finished my book about the emperors.
This is what she's reading: Passion Under the Sun. Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings.
Passion Under the Sun.
I saw Brandon and I thought Passion. So, anyway,
It's 1,200 pages long.
it's 1,200 pages long. This should keep her ass busy for a while. So, this morning we went out, did our little galley van, came home. Hey, Deb.
Oh, what about Duncan today? Your experience with Duncan? It was quiet. There was nobody there.
There was no line. We got right up to the window. They still haven't fixed the donut situation, but they know. My little cherub that works there, hey Jello, she knew to get me a 2 donuts. I don't foresee this being fixed anytime soon because they're morons. Um, and then we came home, and as I've been doing, I've been mowing different sections of the lawn every day because I got to push the goddamn thing. And it's a lot of grass here between the front yard is huge. The back field is huge. And then inside the backyard itself, inside the fenced-in area, isn't quite that big, but it's big enough. So today I went out to the street and I mowed, and then down the side a little bit. And I figured I'd be leaving the house at like 10:15 to get up to the funeral home about 10:30 to 10:40. And so I figured I had plenty of time. I'm out there mowing. Then I look at the clock on my phone, and it's already like 10 after 10. I'm like, son of a bitch. So I came in the house, got on my clothes. I mean, I had clothes on outside. I don't want you to think there was a little treat if you drove by here. Um, and so I hopped in the car and rode up there. The Cub Cadet lawnmower. I was riding it about a month ago. Just finished mowing, was coming up to park it, and the thing stalled. So I thought I ran out of gas. So thank God I was close because you can take this thing, you can pull this lever out and then you can push the thing, but it's heavy. But I was very close. So I pushed it into here, and I went and got gas the next day or something. I filled it up. I tried start it and it wouldn't start. But that's sometimes because when you run out of gas, you get like a vapor lock. So you got to do a lot to start it. Well, guess what? When I'm pumping the thing to start it, I see gas shooting out the front, which means there's a hole in the gas line somewhere, which thank God it didn't start because it probably would have been engulfed in flames. So the Cub Cadet, I really like it, and there's one authorized service center here, and it's only like 3 miles away, and the guy picks them up and all. But the problem is there was another small engine place called Richard Sharpening Service that would sharpen blades and shit like that, work on lawnmowers and all. Well, he retired a year and a half ago. So now all his business is going over to the only Cub Cadet authorized service center around here. There's other small business repair. So he's swamped. So I call him tomorrow, will be 3 weeks ago. And he said, can you call me back in 2 weeks? And I'm wondering, why don't you just come pick the fucking thing up, take it to your shop? And if it takes you 3 weeks to fix it, okay. But I guess he probably doesn't have the room. So tomorrow I'm going to call him and say, hey, 3 weeks ago, he told me to call you in 2 weeks. This is Nigel on Steelmanville Road. My shit still ain't working. I will tell you this much, though. The push lawnmower makes the lawn look a lot nicer than the riding lawnmower. I've also had to run the sprinkler now every day because we haven't had any rain. Monday, we're supposed to get some. But I'm hoping with the extra week, we'll have a thunderstorm. It got hot today. It got to like 89 at one point. And we're supposed to have 90 degrees tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, which in and of itself is not terrible. When it becomes a problem is when there's humidity, and that's what we haven't had. So even today, it was like 89 is what my car said up at the funeral, the graveside service. But there was a breeze, so it didn't feel horrible. But I typically do my lawn mowing about 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I need to get this riding lawnmower fixed. And I need to finish part two of Bad Ben Frankenstein this week. It would be released a week from tomorrow if I get it done. I'll get it done. Look at you over there.
Oh, Duncan has new hot honey things
Yeah, they
starting
can
this
suck
weekend.
it.
They have hot honey breakfast sandwich. They have a hot honey version of the bacon. They have two new drinks. One is lemonade and tea mixed together, which I might try.
Do they have a non-sugar version of that?
I don't think they put sugar in
Can they unsweeten it like with
that.
Splenda? Because I hate unsweetened tea.
No, I know. It starts on well, tomorrow's Friday, isn't it? I don't know if it's this Friday or next Friday. So.
J Lo says we've been experiencing a heat wave with high humidity, fit for hell. Well, see, we haven't had the humidity yet. But like last year, I had to water the lawn one day. Um, the rest of it, it just rained naturally all summer long. 2 summers ago, however, it was almost drought like, which my tomato plants barely grew.
I saw a little tiny tomato.
There's a bunch of them.
I know, but just letting you know. Just be quiet.
But 4 of my plants are like 1/5 the size they should be, and 4 of the plants are normal size and healthy. I saw this video today about breaking a piece off your tomato plant. It's called the suckler or some bullshit. It's where your plant splits, and then there's one that comes out of the split, and they say if you break it off there and you stick it in soil, it'll grow. So I was thinking about taking a couple of them off the big plants and putting them over in the little plants raised box. The mistake I made this year was I got that Miracle Grow raised box bullshit. I should have just gotten the kind of Miracle Grow I've gotten every year. This has peat moss and some bullshit in it. It's supposed to be mixed for suckers. Yes. Thank you, Lee. And anyway, what I call them? I didn't call them suckers. Well, that's what they are called. I remember from the video. But that raised box bullshit and the peat moss and all, 4 of my plants are saying this is bullshit, and 4 of them like it. So, anyway, next year I'm just back to the sucklers. Oh, well, sucklers, suckers. If I took the L out, I was right. And I'll try to see what can happen if I can get them going. But you know what? These little plants that are like 1/5 the normal size have tomatoes on them. Oh God, I don't know what's going on down there. Adam said anything over 75 makes Jennifer cry. Out of control woman attacks 10-year-old boy, bites arresting officer at Jersey Shore pool. Ah, there you go. Let me tell you something. The Jersey Shore is not the place to be at this year. We've had riots in the normally calm air. What are you doing over there?
Jude said to do this for 2 minutes to see if you have carpal tunnel syndrome.
Well, yeah, if you do that, you will.
If you have pain or numbness or tingling in these 3 fingers, I've already been told I had carpal like years ago. I don't know, maybe it's
Stop crocheting.
I'm not. I haven't been for like a week because my hands hurt.
Ronnie, I got your message. And no, I'm an idiot. I did not mail it. You and J-Lo. Because you and Jennifer were the first 2 people to order the Frankenstein starter kit. And Then I lowered the price. So you got the message that you got like a $5 refund. And when I did that in the shopping cart system I use, it no longer showed them as paid, ready to be shipped. It should, like, the refund fricked it up. So hopefully I can get them out tomorrow. I said I'd get them out yesterday, but it's been a busy week. And what? She said, "Oh my God,
Well, I
let's."
started watching this because it looked like Byron. But wait,
Looks like
wait.
her too. Oh God,
It's a hairless pug.
a hairless pug.
Yes.
That nose isn't short like a pug,
Yes,
is
it
it?
is.
Let me see it again. Oh yeah, there's something wrong with that dog.
Oh, you always think there's something wrong with the dog. He looks perfect. He's got hair on his paws and his legs, just not on his body.
Well, look at my head. I had hair before. I had hair as of Monday morning, and then I decided to clean up a little before the first. Use my clippers, and before the first funeral of the week, I'm going. Nying, 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 nying. I hear little piece of little black piece of plastic falls on the ground. I pick
Like,
it up, and
like
it's
when Penny was doing Sheldon's hair.
yeah, and it was the clipper edge, and it came off, so the clippers went flat onto my head, and I had a streak, and I couldn't balance it out. I even went down to a number one setting, couldn't, so I had to go all natural. And look, you can see how gray I've gotten. Oh God, it's almost over. I want to see a picture of you younger with hair. The hell you trying to do?
I've seen a picture of him younger with hair.
That's a little personal,
He
lady.
was even hotter than he is now.
That's impossible. Well, let me explain something to you about my head. I would have a full head of hair if I had a normal size head. My head is gigantic. I wear a 3XL hat to be comfortable. Those ones that are like adjustable, one size fits all, I'm telling you right now, that's bullshit. I put those things on, I'm on the last hole and it's barely hanging on. These are my new glasses, though, which I saved on because I bought these glass frames like 3 years ago, got new glasses, and in about a week or two, these scratches appeared. I am very careful, excuse me, with my glasses, not to put them face down so they get scratched or anything.
I'm happy you like your glasses.
So I'm happy you're happy. So I take them back to the place and they say, "Oh, that's not that's not right." And they said, "We'll order new lenses." They did. 2 weeks later, same thing. So I gave up. So I went down to this glasses place in Summers Point and had them just make lenses, and they put in those frames. And so far, so good. One of the kids I watch has a big head. His mom stopped having kids after him. I'm telling you, my mother looked like she was a ranch hand in Montana after giving birth to me. Yes, bow legged. No, I'm kidding. But my God, this head she must have sat there and said, "What the hell is it? Cut me open, take it out." Jennifer says, "Have you ever heard of Howie the Crab?" No. Tell us, Jennifer, enlighten us. And what else? So tonight we watched 2 episodes of The Sopranos. And of all the episodes to watch this week, it was the version where Tony Soprano's mother died. It was the episode. I watched episode 1 of The Boys last night and I just wasn't thrilled. Hopefully it gets better. That show is extremely graphically violent. There must be a delay, but I'm waiting for Jennifer to tell me about Howie the Crab. You've piqued my interest.
Somebody just said that you should take pieces of watermelon, cut it into small pieces, freeze it, and once it's completely frozen, shave it. And you can put it in drinks and on desserts.
That sounds good. Somebody was saying that some animals enjoy the rinds.
Yeah.
Like you should take the rinds and throw them outside. I don't know if it's rabbits or what it is.
Blueberries and
Antioxidants.
mangoes are very good for dogs, especially in the summer. It keeps them hydrated, they say.
Well, blueberries. I was talking about this on the ride home today, where I will like a blueberry muffin, but I don't like blueberry pie or eating blueberries.
I tried blueberry pie, but
And I can no longer eat strawberries after the incident. Yeah, I bet the boys just get more graphic. She's a blue crab who is about to turn 9, which is years past life expectancy, and has a huge online following. She's a pet and walks on a leash, wears hats, interacts with the cats in her house. This is Howie the Crab. You ever see that guy with the giant tortoise that it goes walking with him down the street? There is at the animal shelter where we got Sable and Archer. There's she actually signs with claw to her mouth when she wants food. And this tortoise is huge. What are they called? Cicadas or something, or succulents, or I don't know. So I'm sitting here, and at this angle, I look rather disgusting, I must say, with my multiple chins. Oh, God, losing weight ain't all it's cracked up to be. Sable, shut your damn mouth. All right, come here. Sable. Sable, come. Come up here. All right, I want the people to see you. Look. They love you, Sable. Oh, Archer's out here now. He does not. You see the bullshit I just went through? Archer almost attacked. I miss Coco the gorilla. She could sign. But I'd be damn if I think I'd get in a room with that gorilla. You know, that woman had her face ripped off by a chimpanzee. Imagine what a gorilla could do.
is it possible to get bread tomorrow?
It's about all I can afford. Yes. You know, I offered today. When I went in the store, I said, babe, I might have said, bitch, you need anything? And you said, no. So I wonder if Cousin Darty was there today. Like, I know she was there. Howie's owner had a huge watch party last night for her molting. She's so old, her owner didn't know if she'd survive. 60K were watching, including us. So that explains why when I broadcast last night, I did not see the Fitches. You passed me up for a crab shedding its skin. I cut my hair. Should have brought the spirit talker. Yeah, I'm sure my family would have liked that. I don't take the spirit talker to her house. No, I haven't been in that house since a week before she left. Oh, no, that's not true. For a couple weeks, we took care of the cats. When is my molting party? When I reach $1,960, I'll strip down. By the way, after the Frankenstein reveal happens at the end of part two, I will do a live broadcast with Frankenstein here. Now, J Lo, I didn't mean that towards you guys. You and Adam have done enough. Almost everybody I see in this room has done enough. Seriously, you've done enough. You know, the way I figure it mathematically and all, in about 2 years, everything's going to be perfect. The Roku channel's growing. The We're adding more films, adding more content, and it's just 2 years. Then I can retire. I'll be 60. Oh my God. Plus, you had to pay for Adam's hernia surgery the other day. How you feeling, Adam? I'll try not to make you laugh. Well, that makes me want to tell a joke. Guy bought a dozen roses for his wife. Brings them home just to surprise her. But she was suspicious the moment he walks in the door. And she looks at the dozen roses he hands to her and she goes, "Oh, what's this mean? I got to spend the next week laying on my back with my legs up in the air wide open?" Thinking, he was expecting to get sex because he bought her flowers. So what's that mean? I got to lay on my back for the next week with my legs up in the air, spread wide open? And he said, "Why? Don't we own a vase?" That's some funny shit. Adam, don't laugh. They'll hurt you. What, Robin, you're responding to something. You said that's earlier than most people. What are you responding to? I don't know. I forget. But listen, if the picture goes blank for a minute, it's because I'm on Wi-Fi and I'm not plugged in. So just hang around. If it goes black for a minute, just hang around, and it'll come back. You're feeling a lot better today. My niece's fiance just had his wisdom teeth out. If I'm being honest about it, he's kind of being a big pussy. No, I'm just kidding. The has talked about how, well, any of you that have had wisdom teeth, that I had mine out, it was quick, click, 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 and they were out. But then they stitch them shut, and the stitches are what suck. But yeah, he's a good kid. He'll be a good addition to the family. So when they get married, my two nephews and niece will be married. So that means I now already have two niece in laws, and I'll have a nephew in law. Plus, I have three great nieces and nephews, two great nieces, one great nephew. And there's something else. They're on the other side of the family from the service, the funeral, the burial we did 2 days ago. And the little one, the little girl, my great niece, one of them, she gets in the house and her clothes are coming off. She wants to be in the bathing suit because they want to go in the pool. They live in Florida now and they have a pool. And these kids love the water. So she wants to go in. Oh, they weren't called, and my sister told me the name of these things to get day, and I messed it up again. I forget it. Things they said marsupials. That's not maples or something, or marples is what they're called. They're like a candy cookie that were decorations they put on the cake they made. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was good. My blood sugar went through the roof. It is summer solstice. In fact, it's been summer now for an hour. I think it happens at 6 something. Hey, Google, what time does summer start?
In the Northern Hemisphere, summer started on Thursday, June 20th, and will end on Sunday, September 22nd, Eastern Time.
At what time of, hey, Google, at what time of day did summer start?
In the Northern Hemisphere, summer started on Thursday, June 20th, and will end on Sunday, September 22nd, Eastern Time.
It's just fucking me. I think it was like marzipan. Thank you.
Yes, marzipan.
That's what it was. So J-Lo says, oh, I almost forgot happy summer solstice is. Oh my God. Oh, it's my nay. It's my own nay. I thought that was someone's bare ass. Like they got amputated at the waist. And this was their bare ass.
4:51 p.m.
4:51 p.m. today. So a little less than 3 hours ago, it became summer. I should have tried balancing an egg. It's almond paste. I like almonds. They're healthy for you, by the way. That almond paste, though, it's like sugary too. But the cake was good. Can I tell you something? I haven't had a shitty piece of cake in so long. Not that I'm looking for it. I'm just saying cake is people are mastering cake. And the brownies, what was the kind I get? Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines? Or did I get both? Brownies from scratch.
Because there's certain people who want to be fancy that way.
Oh, they're show offs. But Holly didn't put the water in them, or water, those of you that want to make fun of my accent. How dare you? And she puts milk and
for water,
right,
melted butter in place of oil, and an extra egg.
She puts an extra egg in case you didn't hear her. Look, there's the decapitated ass again. This on the camera, huh? It looks like a pair of legs and an ass. You know what I saw videos last night, which was like genius? Apparently, Costco has these really good sheet cakes. Now, Acme used to have great cakes. They're okay now, but they used to be great. But Sam's Club, I haven't really had their cakes. But BJ's would make good sheet cakes too. But I've heard people complain about them. I haven't had a BJ's sheet cake in years either. But apparently Costco makes these great sheet cakes. Well, this is what people have been doing. They've been buying the sheet cakes and decorating them and then reselling them. And they're making tons of money. They like will design a picture, they'll show the people, and they'll be able to approve it, and then they can print it on some special something or other somehow, and they put it on the cake, and they I don't know how you can print it on something that you then put on the cake because I know there's those printers that will print on a cake, but they're printing icing. If you print with a regular printer, that's chemicals and shit. But whatever, they're decorating these cakes and reselling them. I think it's genius. Hey Nigel, hope your night is going good. I'm going to head to see the movie The Exorcism tonight. Looks good. Where's that, in a theater?
Did you know that there's a navigation app you can get that like insults you and curses and stuff?
A navigation app that insults you? I'll insult you. Anybody that's ever bought a Cameo from me knows that. I'll say, how dare you? Adam, you and I both have bald heads, but the difference is my head is like the shape of a walnut in the shell, and your head is like the shape of an almond. We look like Bert and Ernie, kind of, if they were bald. There's a rumor Bert and Ernie are gay.
That's been around for years, dude.
Well, let me tell you something. I had an Ernie puppet as a kid.
Yeah.
He ended at the waist. There was nothing down there.
I
So,
had a Miss Piggy puppet that
Did-
ended at the waist.
so how they doing shit. Although you do fist them. I'm sorry. I apologize. My aunt printed out a picture of us as zombies for our wedding cake. Did you dress as zombies at your wedding? I had 80 people in here a minute ago. It dropped to 60. What do you think I did to offend?
Way too many things to list.
It's true.
Do you want more soda?
I am parched. I'm sitting here entertaining the fans. I said, hello there, Miss Holly. Who's that? Foghorn Leghorn. You're damn right, baby. No, isn't? Oh, Ernie's the one I had. Bert was yeah. It's so nice out. Hey, Google, what's the temperature?
The current temperature in Egg Harbor Township is 78 degrees.
78. There's a breeze. We got 4 fans on. There's one fan right here which blows the cigar smoke that way. And then I got a fan over my shoulder to cascade and suck the heat away from my fat ass. And then Holly's got a fan blowing right at her. And then there's the ceiling fan, which is so dusty. Have you seen the thing with people putting pantyhose on their fan blades? That's how they're keeping them clean. And like whenever they want to clean them, they just pull the pantyhose off and all the dirt comes off. I don't know if they reuse them. Did you show me the pantyhose fan thing? Fender saw the pantyhose hack.
What is a pantyhose hack?
You know how dirty the fan blades are?
Oh.
You put pantyhose, you got to clean them, but you put pantyhose on them, and you just leave them on.
Son of a bitch.
Sable is over there basically assaulting Mrs. Biggins. She loves her mama. Now she's over there. The neighbors must be away because their daughter lets the dogs out like once or twice a day. I haven't heard them yet. No, I just heard the leaf blower. She wouldn't be cleaning the yard. That's them. Oh, fuck. I got a barbecue there in August. Let me tell you something. I think my sister has this recipe. I probably have it in there in the green metal tin for deviled clams. You've never had anything like these. My grandmother made them, my mother made them. And you get the big chowder clams. That's the only time I like those big clams. I usually like the little necks, but you get the big chowder clams. You put them through a food processor, or we always used a blender, and they mix them with breading and bullshit. I think they might even put relish in them. And oh, okay, I got it. What I ought to do, I ought to find this recipe, type it up. I'm telling you, I should do a Bad Ben cookbook of all the bullshit I like. Also, this waffle recipe, they're off the hook good. And I haven't made them in years. I could never make a good pancake, but I get the Bisquick shit you just add water to, and I make them. And Jennifer, I can't, because I'm on my laptop out here and not the computer, it's impossible for me to do the steps, but I'll get that up and I'll show it tomorrow. But these waffles are out of this world. These deviled clams, out of this world. There's just so much. My mother used to make this vegetable soup that was unbelievable. And I'm not really a soup fan, although her chicken noodle soup is the key is the fat egg noodles. Her chili, perfect. My mom used to make this green pea soup too that was really good. Ham. They would put the bone of a ham in there. It was so good. And we had a cat that when my mother used to make this vegetable soup, this cat, Bobo, used to lose her freaking mind. And my mom would she would smell that soup and she'd be meowing and standing there. And my mother would take a bowl and let it cool down, put it down on the floor. And this cat would lick that bowl completely clean. Her macaroni and cheese is good. Her fluffy cake, she calls it. That bullshit's good. The one thing, we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, but my parents could do some amazing things for food. My dad used to get these ham patties. They came in a can, almost like Spam, but the can was round. And they would be these round patties about this big. And he would just bake them on a sheet with like mustard on them and some bullshit. And we'd have mac and cheese with them. And that was good. And I used to like, and tell me if I'm wrong, people. Is Ilio's Pizza not about one third smaller than it used to be? We say it is. But I remember every Friday night after grocery shopping, my mother would come home, we'd come home, and she'd make pizza. Ilio's Pizza. And we put grated cheese on it and pepper flakes and eat that shit. And I also used to like Jiffy Pop popcorn. But one year, because I'm an idiot, I took one of the unpopped kernels and I stuck it in my ear. I tried to claim that I had it in my hand. I swatted a mosquito, but that was bullshit. I stuck it in my ear because it looked like the Bionic Woman, where they stuck the little silver ball in her ear that gave her the power hearing. So I did that. And did my parents take me to a doctor? No. You want to know who got it out of my ear? John the Butcher. John Shear, the butcher at Acme. Put it, my dad took me back to the butcher at Acme. They had me lean my head to the side, and he got down his knees with his assistant with a pair of these long tweezers, and boom, fell right out. Yes, packaged foods are smaller now, Adam, because you know what else is smaller? Remember the Reese's eggs at Easter? They were at least a third bigger. They're now small. Reese's peanut butter cups. They're now making these jumbo Reese's and they're making such a big deal about them. But Reese's peanut butter cups themselves are smaller than they were. But these deviled clams, oh, Lee, I'll find that recipe for you. They were so good. And you use the big clams, the chowder clams, and you keep the shells after you. I don't know if you cook them first, if you steam them first, or if you just cook them as part of the baking process. I'll find it. But I should start publishing recipes. The things the biggins eat. And scallops. I love scallops, but I got to tell you, we can get the scallops fresh down the road here. But I got to tell you, the frozen shit I like better. And I like crab that comes out of the can. As long as I buy it before the expiration date, which last time I bought it on sale, I bought for me and my sisters. I got a can for each of us. And they were all past the expiration date on the sale day. We need a Bad Ben cookbook. I should have at least 7 breakfasts. I've also learned how to make a good omelet and scrambled eggs. And I also learned that bacon is not meant to be cooked in the frying pan. You can put it on a broiler in your oven and it'll come out unbelievable every time.
I can get it crispy in the microwave.
How? The microwave? Dear Lord Jesus.
I make very nice crispy bacon in the microwave. You gotta cook it more than like 30 seconds.
Well, can't you do them in the air fryer too? What else? Oh, your meatloaf is good. You still make mac and cheese using. You know what? Do you know how to make that? I think she called it tuna fish salad because my cousin and I were talking about this the other day. We got on a food kick, and that's when we were talking about the deviled clams. But mom used to make this macaroni salad, I think she called it, but it was made with tuna fish, and they used the big noodles, like the big rigatoni or something, I guess, or whatever you call them. Oh my God, it was so good. My mother used to make egg salad. First of all, when I was a kid, I didn't know the difference between mayonnaise and salad dressing. Now, obviously, if you put them side by side and you taste them, there's a distinct difference in the taste. But my mother used to make tuna fish and egg salad with salad dressing, like Hellman's or whatever that bullshit is, and that was always good. But she used to put in her egg salad, she put relish and the eggs and the salad dressing and mustard, and that shit was good. And the tuna fish was just tuna and salad dressing. But as I got older, I started to like onions. My middle sister hated onions, so I thought I hated onions. And then when I got bigger, I started like I don't like this stringy brown bullshit on a cheesesteak, but onions and tuna fish, dear Lord Jesus. Chicken salad, I like. Listen to me. You know what else can be good if done right? Peanut butter and jelly. But here's how you do that bullshit. First of all, the bread matters. And you put the jelly on one half and the peanut butter on the other. And then you slap that shit together. I've made triple decker ones like that. But you put peanut butter on the bottom, then you put a slice of bread on top, then you put jelly, and you put a slice of bread on top.
It's all about the peanut butter for me.
Well, they used to have Wonder Bread used to be out of this world. Then Wonder Bread went out of business and somebody bought them, and it's not the same. But that Myers Italian bread, ugh, I like that shit.
What about the other one?
Bagliani's bread,
Well, yeah, but the artisano.
yeah. Artisano's awesome too. She gets this honey wheat bullshit. That's good. And a grilled ham and cheese.
I've heard that that's because I stopped eating white bread because I heard of how bad white bread is.
Yeah, white bread ain't the best for you. But that doesn't stop you from dogging a roll, does it?
No, it does not.
That tuna, that macaroni salad with the tuna in it. Oh my God, the memories that brought back. When I was a kid, and I've told you guys this before, the story about cooking clams. When I was a kid, we used to drive to the edge of our city, and there was a bay. It's actually part of Egg Harbor Township, but it's like adjacent to Pleasantville, where I grew up. And we would go grab seaweed off the beach, and then we had a half a keg, a half of a half a keg. It was cut in half, and we put water in the bottom. My dad would sometimes pour beer in there. Put the seaweed in there. Put a metal grate. Put the clams on top of the grate. Cover it with a towel, and sat this on this other like iron grate with hot coals in it, and cook the clams. It would take like 8 hours. But that's when I discovered, as an adult, I've discovered just get a foil tray that you can throw away, put it on your gas stove, your outdoor barbecue grill, fill it with clams, and just about 15, 12 to 20 minutes, and they'll all be open. Because they have water in the shells, or water. Some of you people speak funny and you say water instead of water, like we say here. All this food talk. Oh, my parents, I don't know what the hell this was made out of, but this was only a New Year's thing. It was called meat mixture. And I don't have any idea what part of what animal this came from. But they had one of these little grinders that you would screw to the edge of a table and you put meat in it and grind it and it would come out. And we got these little pieces of bread, like they were little loaves, like, and the bread was super thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'd make little sandwiches out of them on New Year's Eve.
I saw a video about marinated cheese.
You can't fuck with cheese too much.
They used cheddar cheese and cream cheese, and you marinate it with like Italian dressing, and then if you let it sit long enough, it gets all mushy, and you can put it in a
What is
cracker.
that cheese bullshit you get at Bagliani's that's the white ball?
Which one?
It's the round ball in liquid. It looks absolutely fucking disgusting.
Burrata.
Burrata?
Yes. It's not very nice.
It was bologna? And why the fuck is bologna spelled like that? Bologna is
So
bologna.
just call it bologna.
I'll walk in the Bagliani's and say, yeah, could I have a pound of bologna? Excuse me? I'll tell you, their meats are so good, but their deli is the slowest in the world. We usually get there at 8 a.m. when they open. It's a nice little trip up the pike. Oh, you know where we got to go back to? That Amish market. That was off the hook. That's where we got those ribs that time.
I told you I want to try their chicken.
Was that bologna mixed with salad dressing, Lee? And we got to find out where they get. Yes. See? That's salad dressing. It looks like mayonnaise, but it's not. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Hellman's, I
My
think.
dad likes that stuff.
Or
Also,
Kraft.
By the way, cucumbers are supposedly very good for balls too, because they're mostly water, so it's also good for hydration.
And you put them on your eyes to suck up the bags. That's one thing I don't have yet, bags under my eyes. I got a bag under my chin. Salad dressing is Miracle Whip.
Sable.
Thank you. And I saw on the Chew, which no longer exists, they used to, instead of putting butter on the bread to make a grilled cheese, they would put mayonnaise.
I've done that before.
And it browns better.
The shoe is not on anymore.
I don't think so.
I know they got rid of Fat Boy
Mario.
because he had a lot of problems. I thought it was still on.
I don't think so. Maybe it is. Is the Chew still on? Does anybody know? And what was it? Oh, my sister used to make baked beans. I mean, she still does. But her father in law used to go nuts over her baked beans. She would take them, I guess, put them in the crock pot for like a day or something, but she put all kinds of shit in it. I don't know what. She can tell you if she wants. Lee, I'm saying, can tell you how she used to make baked beans. I know you don't like beans.
I used to make beans for my dad.
But her father-in-law used to go nuts over her. And I will tell you at the gathering after the funeral on Tuesday, they had these sandwich trays from this place here called Fitzpatrick's Jewish Delicatessen. The corned beef was out of this world. I think it was tuna, out of this world. The turkey, out of this world. It's just so good. Even what is it about a deli? You don't like pickles, but these deli pickles are just so good.
The corned beef was very good. Just giving you my.
Well, like I didn't like coleslaw as a kid, but I like taking like corned beef and putting coleslaw on it and a piece of Swiss cheese.
You don't like mustard on corned beef?
No,
What is wrong with you?
I like the hot shit, horseradish.
Horseradish. Did you know?
I know a lot of people who love mustard with it. They dip it. And by the way, folks, as far as hot mustard goes, there's this brand called Nance's, and it is just outstanding. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I found out today that a hack for good, like crispy fried fish,
What?
is instead of using like milk or egg or something, use mustard, and then you use cornmeal,
And you fry it?
and you fry it, and it comes out very crispy. Well, that fry stuff you get is basically a seasoned cornmeal, but I've never heard of the mustard thing. I'm not a huge mustard fan. I used to be when I was a kid. I used to eat mustard sandwiches.
Well, I like mustard on ham, but I also like mayonnaise on ham.
I like mustard on bologna sometimes.
And this is going to sound really disgusting, but when you used to be able to get those sandwiches in a vending machine,
Yeah.
and it was like
Didn't they used to have those at like the hospital? and
the
stuff?
hospitals always had them,
Yeah.
and they would have the ham, and it would come with like a little package of mayonnaise, a little package of mustard,
They used to make.
but so
They
good.
used to make really nice sandwiches at Acme. Like any kind of like they would do ham. They also did bologna, but they did corned beef, and they would have it on rye bread. The real good rye bread.
The marble like looking shit. Yeah.
And then of course they stopped because it was too much work. You know my feelings about the deli.
Well, you know what needs to happen? People need to stop going there. And then they'll fix that shit.
She is a.
They used to have breakfast sandwiches there.
I know they used to do burgers. They used to do chicken sandwiches. They don't do any of that stuff anymore. But
With go ahead.
she is the only deli manager in the districts, as far as you can see, that has not been moved to another store. Because she will not go. She will not be moved.
When Maria takes and steams the shrimp in Old Bay,
Yes.
I could set up a beach chair in an aisle of that store
When she does the,
and just sniff the air.
she does the salmon very well too.
Well, they also have that artificial crab meat,
Uh-huh.
the seafood salad. I always thought that was good.
They use artificial crab in like sushi rolls.
The sushi in Acme is good.
It used to be, but I wouldn't buy it anymore because it made me sick one time.
Well, you got to buy it fresh, but ShopRite, like Acme has that one little person tucked in the corner
Yeah.
and they're making it. ShopRite, they've got like 4 of them back there.
That guy who does it in Summers Point is the same guy who does it for, or at least used to be, same guy who does it for Mays Landing and Brigantine. Same guy. Him and his wife.
Well,
all the actors.
in the ShopRite, they're in there. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and they're talking in is sushi Japanese? They're talking, I guess, in Japanese. And I'll walk by and I'll say, good morning. And they'll stop and they'll all look at me. And they'll say, oh, good morning. But Let me tell you, that's where Robert died.
I know.
When you would walk into this is the first time I've ever seen a person dead, not at a funeral. I walk into the shop, right? It was Sunday morning, and Halloween that year was on a Tuesday. So this is like 3 years ago. And I walk in, and right to the right is the sushi place, and there's some tables. And Robert, this guy who he wasn't homeless, but he lived in a home. I mean, we all live in a home, but I mean, it was like a
Like an
group
assisted
home,
living group.
like an assisted living group home. Mrs. Biggin said, and you would see him all the time, and he was going around, just would walk around down the street and all. And I walk in ShopRite that Sunday morning at like 8:45, and Robert's sitting there like this.
Like you in the chair when I took your picture the other day.
And he's gray. And I walk in, I look over there, and I say, I think he's dead. And I look around, and nobody is like one person. The produce section is when you walk in the door, there's the sushi spot, and then there's produce straight ahead. The bakery's off to the right. And over in the produce, I see one guy standing there looking directly at Robert. And I look, and I'm like, does anybody know this guy's here dead? And then two employees come up. So somebody, it might have been that guy, went and told him. And they come up and they're saying, Sir, sir. And by this point, I moved around towards the guy standing at produce and said, he ain't going to answer him. That guy's toast. And then they called 911. They came there, and yeah, he was dead. I remember that asshole that worked at Acme said, oh, they revived him, but he died. They didn't revive him. This guy was sitting there. Probably rigor mortis had set in. They picked him up. He was probably still in a seated position. But you know, I'll tell you a true story about death. When my mother, she died in this house peacefully, the body heat is gone like that. And I remember coming in, touching her hand, and Selena Grundon said, what did I just come into? Like, it's just as, what did I just come into, question mark. But I can imagine her inflection of those words. What did I just come into? Because you hear death talk. But yeah, I came in and I touched her hand, and it was like ice cold. But yeah, Robert died. Fortunately, my mother, after passing, did not hang around. And that night, at least not yet. She went to the afterlife peacefully. But I remember her telling me my grandfather visited when he died at our house in Pleasantville. And she said she woke up, looked over my dad, who, my dad used to, they laid side by side in bed, obviously, and he was closer to the door. And she said she saw this lighted outline of somebody. And she said, Dad? And she knew it was him. She also said she woke up one time, was hovering a foot over the couch. I wonder if my mom did pot before it was legal. She said she was floating over the couch. I've never had anything spectacular happen to me. You have. Scott has. Yeah, I heard Donald Sutherland died today. He was also 88. I heard he went to heaven, and Cousin Darty said, did you bring strawberries? Did you bring more than one box? I remember Donald Sutherland in Animal House. He was in Hunger Games and all that shit too, but he in Animal House he was great, and in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the one with him, that was really good.
I want to try something different the next time we go to Dunkin'.
What?
With vanilla, regular vanilla instead of what I normally get.
My drink today sucked. Amount raised so far this broadcast, 0. Well, it looks like I'm going to make my goal tomorrow. Don't go changing to try and please me. Sing for your supper. I love you just the way you are. Ooh, ooh. So this heat wave actually, even though today was a warning, the actual heat wave begins here tomorrow. It's supposed to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As long as it's not humid. Humidity. Humidity. So, Selena, is this your first time here? I don't recognize the name. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. We're glad to have you. So, Adam, did the Bad Ben Coven like officially form yet? Yes, I always miss it. Yes, it's your first time seeing it live. Well, if it's your first time seeing it live, hello, Selena. We had somebody yesterday had a birthday. Russell, I think. It's your first time live. Well, God bless it. You can interact with the king himself, Nigel Jojo Bach. I think I'm going to broadcast live of me sleeping out here tonight. I'll be like this. And you can all, I'll have people come in and they'll think I kicked the bucket. Oh God, with the mouth. Oh, the other Jennifer was over last Sunday and they planned the design for their Coven t-shirts. Now, with me being the grand poobah, can I direct like some spells I would like cast from the experts? I'd say, do you have a spell for baldness? But obviously not, because you came on here live the other night. Well, we know. Sable, want to come up and say hi to the peeps? Ooh, 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 ooh. The fucking claws. Oh, oh my God, Lord Jesus. Oh, oh. You know, when he sees it, there's going to be hell to pay over here. Can you please take it easy with the claws? Here. Now her bare ass is on my leg. I got her little starfish right on my leg. Now Oh, she's standing up now. Look, I'll turn the camera low so you can see her. Look, there's her asshole. I shouldn't show that. I got to cover up her. I apologize for showing my dog's hole. What spells do you want most? Happiness spells. All right, I'm lying. There's some people I want to give a rash to. Can we do that? Or does that go against your rules? Today, you guys might have seen my Instagram post that Nurse Matt, my buddy, is 41 today. And they've got a 4-month-old, February to June, 4-month-old baby, and a 10-year-old daughter. And she's the greatest big sister. She loves having a baby sister. I have a 5-year-old. I have I have 3 5-year-old pets. Archer, Sable, and Sophie. But you guys know that. But they're 5. Sable we got, it was about 4 years ago that Byron passed. It was June. I think like the 12th or something. And we got Sable the next day. I didn't want her, but Holly did. And that's a lie. I picked her out. Been paying for it ever since. And then we got Sophie in July, and we got Archer in August. All right. Adam said, I don't think rashes are worth the karmic debt. Karmic debt. So I'll have to do good things like happiness spells and pain relief spells. Not for me, but for people. Oh. Oh. Here's Archer. So anyway, folks, I've been on an hour and 23 minutes, and I have raised 0. Woo-hoo-hoo. So I'm going to hop off here now, watch some TV, but I'll be back tomorrow. And thanks for hanging out with me. And see you, love you. Bye for now.